can't end 2018 without another donkey. Time for a donkey of the day. Yes, donkey today for Saturday, December 29th goes to Lucas. Now, Lucas is a funny dude, severely boneheaded, and you'll laugh and grimace at everything he says, but in this case, that was put on turbo drive. This may be a niche donkey, because if you don't understand PCs, this isn't going to be funny. But a few days ago, Lucas was asking if he could run Borderlands 2, which is a game that's not that demanding. A potato could run that by now. The thing that complicates it for him is he's got an AMD laptop from like 2012. Everyone snits on AMD these days, and shout out to Backfire and Cassie, FX is trash. But AMD's Ryzen is actually really, really good. Go get one, I swear I'm not sponsored, but I had no idea AMD laptops even existed back then. 6 years later, that is a piece of hot garbage you can toast your bread on. It's almost as bad of a thing to have to play Borderlands 2 on as the decision to buy an i7-9700K. Cash, I'm looking at you. At the end of this donkey, there's a very long message for you. It'll mean more coming from him than me. That's why the length of this video is so inflated. Quite honestly, it may be longer than the actual donkey is. It's only for you. No one else look. Anyway, back to Lucas. So Borderlands 2's minimum requirements require a dual-core processor running at 2.4 GHz. Lucas has a dual-core processor, but he looked at his task manager or something, and it said 1.37 GHz, which is bigly off. But Lucas, in all his genius glory, put the chips in his favor and thought, hey, since my CPU has 2 cores, each running at 1.37 GHz, if I add them up, I'll be over the minimum requirements, right? Quick maths.
Guess what? Wrong. Wrong.
So then, it'll be a whopping 2.74 GHz, wow. And I'll be able to smash the game, right?
Wrong. Wrong. That is wrong.
That is the funniest snits I've heard in a while. Like fuck, Davis said, don't add them, it doesn't work like that. That's like putting a bunch of SAM members' brains together, thinking it's additive. In that case, it's actually divisive, but the bonehead meter has spilled all over the floor. It's not really as if he should know this. This is a genuine case of not knowing, but I've never seen anyone try to multiply their clock speed by the number of cores they have to justify running a game. That's funny. At this point, though, you should probably Hulk smash that laptop like this girl did, breaking her boyfriend's console.
Yo! What the fuck are you doing, yo? What the fuck is your problem?
There's your fucking PlayStation. Why don't you get a fucking job and pay for fucking goddamn bills?
That is assuming that hasn't happened already. Good thing is now Lucas understands that adding clock speed is not a thing. So in effect, this donkey didn't have to exist, but the fact that Lucas thought this was a thing fits his personality so well as a bona fide bonehead. Please give Lucas the biggest hee-haw, please. Courtesy of Belarus.
Yeehaw! Yeehaw!
So there you look at Lucas. Sometimes he says stuff that is well misinformed, and then you try to confirm if he really thinks that, and he's dead serious. Even with that voice, he is dead bigly serious, as Trump would say. But anyway, the meat and potatoes of this donkey today is over, so we're done. The next 4.5 minutes is to explain, mainly to Kesh, why the i7-9700K is just okay. It's not snit, but it'll age like milk. Let's go to tech deals.
If you're buying i7-97, why are you buying an i7-9700K? Stop that.
Don't do that.
Don't. We're not even going to discuss it. That CPU has no reason to exist besides hitting a price point and selling to people who see i7. Right now on Amazon, The i9 9900K is $160 more. Run, don't walk, buy the i9.
Is the 9700K, is that...
That's 8 cores, 8 threads. There's no hyper-threading on it.
Oh, whereas the 9900...
That is a $400 8-thread chip.
Oh, and the other one is 8 cores, 16 threads.
Right.
Which will...
That is $400 for an 8-core, 8-thread chip. I understand there's people who go, I only play... esports games. I don't need cores and threads because my games don't need it. Okay, well, you have the rest of your computer, you have the future, etc., fine. But let's say that's true. Somebody who, for example, only plays World of Warcraft, Star Wars: The Old Republic, World of Tanks, World of Warships, League of Legends, Dota 2, CSGO. None of those require all the cores and threads. None of them. Windows might, other programs might, multitasking and streaming might. But let's say somebody goes, I don't care. I only want to run those games and I'm not going to stream. Fine. An i5 9600 is $250 with 6 cores, 6 threads.
Okay.
It's a better deal, and it'll overclock to 5 gigahertz. So
6 cores, 6 threads?
6 cores, 6 threads. Now, I normally wouldn't buy one, but for the very, 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 very limited market of people who say, I'm only playing these games that really don't use cores and threads, because World of Tanks and World of Warships really only use 2 cores.
Right.
World of Warcraft, Star Wars: The Old Republic use 2 cores.
Right.
League of Legends, Dota 2, CSGO, all use 2 cores.
Yeah, copy.
Why would you buy the i7 for $400 and not buy the i5 for $150 less? I get the budget market for that. But once you're spending $400 on a board, plus a motherboard, and see, to overclock to 5 gigahertz, he's going to need a fairly healthy cooler.
Yes.
The 160 to get the i9, what difference is... Let me put it this way. $650 maybe? For the board, chip, and cooler. $800, about 160, 150 more, will get you the i9.
8 cores, 16 threads.
If you have $650 to buy the i7 9700K,
then
you have $800 to buy the i9.
Yeah, you got the extra.
And if you don't, you're lying to yourself about being able to afford an i7.
Ooh.
You know why you're lying to yourself? Because you're shorting yourself on your system. You're not buying enough SSD. You're not buying enough graphics card. If you're squeezing your budget so tight that you can afford $650 for an i7 9700K, but claim you can't afford the i9, what else in your system has been cheated?
Exactly.
8 threads? $410 for an 8-thread chip in almost 2019? No! Especially since this is back. It's $140 more. I know, $140, but 16 threads.
Yeah.
You'll thank yourself in 5 years that you didn't shortchange yourself. I did it back in 2011 when I bought the i5 2500K 4-core 4-thread versus the i7 2600K 4-core 8-thread. They're both 4-core chips. What do you need it for? It's fine. Games don't need any more. Except I had to do an early upgrade because it became an issue. Mm-hmm. I could have skipped one upgrade if I'd spent the $100. Instead, I had to build a whole new machine. It's a hugely expensive mistake. Spending $410 on the 9700K instead of $550 for this is one of the most penny-wise and pound-foolish things that you can do. You are literally leaping over dollars to pick up pennies. Yeah, you'll save $140 right now. You're forcing yourself to an early upgrade. At some point, you'll have to upgrade sooner than if you had just bought this. By the time you buy either one of those and a board and a cooler and RAM and oh my gosh, don't. Just